Okay, what is going on? LBHT crew B. What is going on?
Excited for the start of the 2025 NFL season this week. Got that last preseason game out the way.
Preseason out the way, and man, that would have been terrible. That was a regular season.
Yeah, open it up against the Cardinals. Let's go.
Starting against Cleveland. Okay, that's the way you want to start the season, right? We got all of our all of that nonsense out the way. The defense didn't look great, but that's okay. That's what preseason's for. All right.
It's crazy how serious the Bills took that game, man.
I know, man. I mean, what you thought that was a real game? That wasn't a real game. You think we do that in a real game? You think our defense would play like that in a real game? Come on. Silly. All right. It is Wednesday, not just any Wednesday. It is our mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
We love you.
No, I already called you earlier this morning and told you before Jose told you.
No, you didn't. I texted her first thing in the morning.
I called her.
I called her too with her.
I see. Not everybody can hear that you made that up. That's not true.
With her grandchildren, we all called. Okay.
Right. I called first thing in the morning, and calls are more appreciated by.
What's first thing in the morning?
Don't worry about what first thing in the morning is. Right?
At 11:58 a.m.
No,
I called.
11:58. All right, I'm an hour into work by then. Goodness, it's not a competition anyway.
All right, listen, it's a mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Ma. Everybody that has a birthday today, happy birthday. But it's Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio form of this, we put this out on Thursday at lunchtime, so we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you leave a 5-star review because we are trying to grow on that side of things. All right. Also, speaking of growing, like the subscriber count that we got from the last stream. But, look, I set a lofty goal. All right. I'm going to stand by it. We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. All right. I know it's a lofty goal, but I think we can do it. Spread the word. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe. Tell your friends and loved ones to subscribe. Tell strangers to subscribe. Tell anybody that you talk to about football, in particular, Ravens and Panthers, subscribe to Lunch Break Hot Take. All right. Man, they ain't here today. Shug says, I believe Jose. What's going on, Shug? Shug, I saw the video. I tried to stay up to watch last night, and I fell asleep literally right before they're about to play the video. I heard him say he's going to play it, and lights went out. I woke up this morning, though, and I watched the video. That was pretty funny. Well done, Shug. Well done, Danny. Very entertaining. Okay. What else we got in here? Bazel was first. Says, yo, salute to Bazel, 86 Ghosts. Appreciate you. We got Urban in the house. Says, Bazel, what up? That's right. What up to Bazel? Pay the bills in the house. Salute to you. Jay the 6th, salute. Says, damn, Bryce couldn't be front facing like Lamar.
It's that anti-Panthers agenda. We deal with it all the time, Jay.
I did the opposite a week ago. I had Lamar with his back to the camera, and people said, man, that's fire.
That was just an artistic choice, though. That's not what this was.
Panther fans can't
because you didn't do that to Lamar after a loss.
I gave you guys the same treatment that I gave Lamar.
No,
I tried to give you the same praise, the same love that I tried to give
Lamar after a loss. You did it to Bryce after a loss. Okay.
What loss? It's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh,
Yeah. That last it was more. It's definitely preseason for y'all because y'all didn't even play. I already told you how I felt about how you guys approached the preseason. I didn't like it at all. They definitely used week 1 as a preseason.
Played more than y'all.
I don't think so. On defense, yes. On defense, yes.
And offense.
No, they didn't.
Bryce played in the preseason.
Oh, you're talking about in preseason? I thought you were talking about the last week of preseason. Last week.
All right, get it together.
Hold on. What's going on, Danny? Speaking to Danny, salute to you,
Danny?
man. Thanks for coming through. We got Dave on the house. Says hashtag LBHT crew. Yes, indeed. We got Buck in the house. Says, hey, crew. What's up, Buck? Adelia, our producer, is here. Says, hey, everyone. Make sure you like the video. Yes, please hit that like button. Let's see. We got Just Aloe. What's up, Just Aloe? Says, hello, LBHT crew. Stay woke in these dark times. Yes, indeed. And woke's not a bad thing. Okay. People try to hijack that phrase and make it out to be something bad, but it's not. Our assistant producer is here. What you need?
Nothing. Just wanted to say hi.
All right. Well, say hi to the people then. Say hi to the people.
Hi, stream.
Yes, that's our assistant producer.
How's the background?
Yes, yeah. They really want you to appreciate my background because they helped me put it together at the last minute.
Because Jose made them put it up.
I didn't make them put it up.
I chose to.
All right. Well, thank you, son. All right. Got Big Reg in the house. What's up, Big Reg? Says, what's up, family? What's good? What's good with you? Game Too Easy in the house. We got Daniel Franklin. Says, I thought I was the only one that calls my mom Mama Dukes. Okay. All right. Hey. And we got Zeke Hokage. Says, Jose and Brodny, what's good, unks? And everyone, and Brodny, your crib is immaculate.
Thank you, Zeke. Appreciate that. Yeah. No fake paneling going on over here.
Fake everything else, though.
No, sir. No, sir.
All right, look, we're going to briefly discuss that disaster that happened to both of our teams, and what we're just going to go ahead and call the regular preseason game. Okay, that's what we're gonna call week 1, the regular preseason game. Things happen. It is what it is. And we'll briefly discuss it, and then we're going to go on to week 2, also known as regular, the real regular season 1. Okay, that's what we're going to call it. Flacco's going to have a career game against this defense. Yeah, he might. We're going to talk about that. We have a good story to talk about for the court of public opinion. And then we're going to answer some questions, and then we're going to get out of here. We're going to get to the overtime show, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to be part of the overtime show, patreon.com/LBHTShow, or sign up for the membership. Okay, we still got memberships going. It's only $5. Same thing for Patreon, $5. But Patreon, they have other tiers that will get you more perks, like an LBHT crew coin or Ring Kings playing cards that I haven't even really showed on here, but we got playing cards for our other podcast, Ring Kings podcast. I'll probably take out the case, you can see it better.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. See? We got Ryan Garcia there. Yeah. Yeah, we got all kinds of fighters. Look at that. Is that Rocky Marciano? Like we got them all there. But yes, patreon.com/LBHT shows how you can do that. LBHTshow.com is where you can sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to put it out. I didn't put it out yet. I'm going to put it out for this week. All right. Shug says he has a bootleg link for $3.75 and coins for $6.95. You can hit up Shug. There you go. What's up, Yolanda from Ravens Talk with Yolanda? Appreciate you coming through. Says hello. All right. Okay, we got all the shouts out the way. We're going to get this show started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History Fact. And B and Akole have a Black History Fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, during the Jim Crow era, the U.S. Post Office became a rare gateway to economic stability and social mobility for Black Americans. Unlike most Southern employers, the Post Office operated under federal civil service rules that prioritized merit over race. This allowed many African Americans to secure steady jobs as mail carriers, clerks, and even postmasters, positions that offered decent pay, job security, and benefits. These roles helped seed the black middle class, giving families the means to buy homes, educate their children, and build community institutions. One of the most powerful examples of this quiet resistance came in 1897, when President William McKinley appointed Fraser B. Baker, a black man, as postmaster of Lake City, South Carolina. His appointment enraged white residents, who saw a black man in a position of authority as a direct threat to white supremacy. For months, Baker and his family endured harassment and threats. Then, in a brutal act of racial terror, a mob set fire to the post office and opened fire on the Bakers as they tried to escape. Fraser and his young daughter were killed. The federal government held a trial, but no one was convicted. Still, the case drew national attention and exposed the deadly consequences of black advancement in the Jim Crow South. Despite such violence, the post office remained one of the few institutions where black workers could build careers in communities. Many became respected figures in their towns, active in churches, civic organizations, and early civil rights efforts. Black postal workers also organized to fight discrimination from within, forming groups like the National Alliance of Postal Employees to challenge racist hiring practices and exclusion from white-dominated unions. In this way, the post office didn't just deliver mail, it delivered opportunity. It helped shape a generation of black professionals and leaders who laid the groundwork for future movements, all while quietly outsmarting the system designed to keep them down.
All right, salute to the Black History Fact. Okay,
and look, thank you to Osmond who sent that in, and also Country Boy of the One Mic podcast, or One Mic, I believe it was One Mic Black History podcast, who did a much more in-depth video on that same subject. So you can go over to his channel, hit that subscribe button, and check that out as well.
And shout out to Country Boy. He's actually been on one of our episodes. We need to bring him back. He's a diehard Panthers fan, and he was great. He was great, but definitely, I mean, you want some, like B said, more in-depth Black History Fact. Click on One Mic. It's One Mic History podcast. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check it out. And congratulations, because I think he just hit 100,000 subscribers.
Oh no, he is over 200,000.
200,000 subscribers.
Yes.
200,000 subscribers. So he's doing great things over there, man. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you. All right. Where we want to start? We want to start with the little disaster or the big disaster?
I mean, let's start with the little one, I guess. Get that out of the way. The Carolina Panthers, you know, as you all may know, there's a lot of hope, a lot of, you know, just really positive feelings around the Panthers this offseason. Heading into the opening game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then left tackle Ike Ekwonu was out, and apparently he is the key to everything.
He's the answer.
he is the glue guy, because Carolina went out there and got beat 26-10, and it honestly wasn't even that close. Everybody played pretty poorly. Bryce played poorly. The line wasn't great. The defense was the defense. We'll say that. There was a few bright spots. Teteroa McMillan played very well.
Yeah.
For his, you know, in his debut game, he finished with, I believe, 9 targets and I want to say 6 catches. He almost had a touchdown, if not for some defensive pass interference that went uncalled, but that's okay.
It was close, but yeah, look at the replay. I would say pass interference because he's holding his arm that he's trying to, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't close. That's all right though. There was another play down the sideline where they were interfering again, and he had to grab the defender and essentially toss him out of the way to make a diving one-handed catch. So he definitely displayed the ability that led to him being a top 10 pick for Carolina. The problem was, well, part of the problem. Bryce had a forgettable day. He turned the ball over 3 times. He actually had another interception that went back for a touchdown that got called back on a penalty. He made some poor decisions. He made some poor throws. He missed Hunter Renfrow on what would have been a touchdown. But he made some good throws as well. So it was a mixed bag, but not what we were hoping for after the way he finished out last season.
No, go ahead.
I know. I was just saying on the defensive side of the ball, they got absolutely destroyed. Brian Thomas Jr. is a great young receiver. They held him in check for the most part. Travis Hunter had a nice debut, but the Jaguars went over 200 yards rushing, which marks the 7th straight game that the Carolina Panthers have given up over 200 yards rushing. And at this point, you got to wonder, do you think that's how you win? Like, are you saying, hey, the opponent's yards rushing add to your point total? Because that's like the only explanation, right? There's no pride. There's no skill. Teams just run over and through them at will. Part of that, I think, is because of the decisions they made on defense, where this offseason they went out and they drafted Nick Scorton in the 2nd round, Princely Amumalian in the 3rd round, Lathan Ransom in the 4th round. They wanted to remake the edge rusher group. They needed some help in the secondary as well. Those guys did not really get to play on defense at all. Between the 3 of them, they totaled about 30 snaps on defense. So this whole kind of revolution on defense that we were hoping to see really didn't get the opportunity. They stuck with Pat Jones and DJ Wanham at the edge group. They stuck with Nick Scott, who famously missed the tackle on Travis Etienne's 71-yard run. So it was a very, very disappointing effort from Carolina all the way around.
I don't think I don't think it was worse than what the score is. I actually thought that game could have been a lot closer if Panthers would have executed, because they were down there in the red zone a couple times, right? 4th and goal situations where even if they kicked field goals, the game's a little different, right? But I'm fine with the aggressiveness, and like the one where Tedoroa got held on that pass, that was on 4th down. That should have been a touchdown. Yeah. So I think better execution. Easily you could have put up 14 more points, and then it could be coming down to a wire at that point. The defense, we already knew it wasn't going to be great. It's just going to take a little bit more time to gel, right? But I think they had their moments. J.C. Horn had an excellent pick.
And it was nice to see Derek Brown back doing his thing.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's going to take them a couple of weeks to get going on that side, but they'll get to a point where they'll hold their own. We don't expect them to be great, but they'll hold their own.
I think the biggest thing for the defense is the offense has to get going. The offense has to start scoring points. The offense has to put them in a position where they can make the other team more one-dimensional and make the game easier for the defense. But I'll tell you what, I mentioned that Ike Ekwonu was out. Jalen Coker's also out. He's on IR, so he's going to miss at least the first 4 weeks. Tired of seeing Xavier Legette. He had his entire rookie season, and we like to give some grace to rookies, right? He didn't play well, but we said, hey, players make a big leap between years 1 and 2. Heard all the right things during the off season. Then he went out in the preseason, and he didn't look like he really cared to make any impression there. And then he went into the regular season, and
that one play, that's another play where he had a catch and then didn't toe tap. He didn't get
he was about 5 or 6 yards inbounds and couldn't get both feet in. Incredible.
That would have put you, if not in field goal range, close to field goal range, I believe. That was
you remember the year before? A couple years when they had Jonathan Mingo, and he was running to the sideline and Bryce threw him the ball well inbounds, and Jonathan Mingo turned around and jumped backwards to catch the ball to make sure that he would land out of bounds. It was like that. And I'm not, he's not going anywhere, obviously. But I'm not hopeful at all that Xavier Legette can turn things around. He does not really seem to get it.
Nah. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, Coach?
Everybody subscribe if you haven't already to Sip to Tally Films. The best in the business at breaking down film. Nobody better. Also, more Sip to Tally. The only place you need to go for power rankings and to just for breakdowns on all the other 31 teams out there, or 30 teams out there, because we cover 2 teams over here, right? Excellent content. And on Tuesdays, not Mondays anymore, Tuesdays, the Ravens Roundup is back. We did our first episode of season 3 yesterday.
That was pretty crazy because nobody sent me the link. Didn't appreciate that.
He's joking. He wasn't expecting a link. But you're always welcome to come on.
I turn it on. All of a sudden, there's somebody in my seat.
There's room. There's room on the screen for you. Okay, you can come on if you want. But appreciate you coming through, Coach. Had to get his walk in. There you go. I know. See, he messing with you, Coach. He messing with you. All right, but yeah, I Xavier Legette, yeah, he doesn't. I don't know, man. Like he don't seem serious. Like we don't know these people, obviously, right?
No,
he could be putting in a lot of work,
and I'm sure he is.
But it doesn't feel like maybe he's putting in the work and it's just not clicking for him. That's the problem you have with players that have a lot of natural talent, right? And you think, man, I can work with them, and if the light turns on, he can really be something special. But you gotta be patient. But when you draft them in the first round and you need them to produce now, it's tough to do.
Or in his case, players who don't have a lot of natural talent, because I think he's a great athlete. He's a great athlete.
But that's what I mean by natural talent.
I'm not calling his athletic ability talent. He's a guy who didn't
physically gifted.
Yeah, he didn't do anything in college until his last year, and so he's older than you would expect for a guy coming into the league, and just he's not as well developed as some of the other guys who came in. Like that felt like something that would happen. That felt like a college catch, right? He made the catch, he got 1 foot down, and didn't worry about tapping his toe because you only need 1 foot in college, and he hasn't wrapped his head around the fact that he's in the NFL yet. He needs to get both feet in. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm not optimistic at all on Xavier Legette turning things around. Yeah, I'd like to see Jimmy Horn get some snaps next week on offense. See if there's anything there. He was a healthy scratch this week. Treshawn Wharton, who they signed in free agency, was injured in this game, so he's going to miss a few weeks, which isn't great. But that means that possibly we'll get to see Cam Jackson, who is a rookie D tackle out of Florida, who was also inactive this week. I think that they absolutely desperately need to play the young guys on defense. We know the old guys can't get it done.
I want to see it. Don't laugh, right? I want to see Hunter Renfrow get more involved. And when I was watching the game, I was like, man, I like to see him get more snaps, but a little older, he might need to get on a snap count. But then I remembered he's not actually 40 years old. He just looks like it.
The man is 29 years old.
Yeah, he can get some more work. I think he needs to get more snaps.
I mean, look, he's out there. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that Hunter is what Hunter is. I think that when Jalen Coker comes back, Hunter will be more effective.
Yes.
They're out there because right now, if we're being honest, the Panthers don't have any proven pass catchers. None. Nope. Hunter Renfrow in his last couple of years totaled about 500 yards, or a little over 500 yards, right? And then he obviously missed last season. Teteroa McMillan is a rookie. Xavier Legette has been a bust up to this point. And then you got David Moore, who's not a starting caliber wide receiver. He's a special teamer and depth receiver. Same with Bryson Tremaine. And then you look at tight end, you got Jatavian Sanders and Tommy Tremble. Neither one of those guys is really taking that step forward to claim that job. So they don't have anybody who's proven that they can contribute on a regular basis in the NFL. So, it's going to be tough. If you look at that group, right, outside of, obviously Teteroa, because he comes with that prestige of being that top 10 pick, the only guy that you're really even concerned with is Hunter Renfrow at this point. And Hunter ain't going to do well with a bunch of attention. He did get open once, and it probably would have been for a touchdown, but the pass was underthrown.
Yeah.
I think he still had the opportunity to make the catch. It was a tough play, and he didn't end up catching it. But they need Teteroa to continue, improving off of his strong debut. They need Jalen Coker to get back and provide, a steady wide receiver too. And at this point, you got to hope that Jimmy Horn can bring something to the offense. You got to hope that Sanders or Tremble can step up. And honestly, they need to, like we talked about before the season, they need to lean on that run game with Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, and even Trevor Etienne.
All right, so let's talk about this week. We have some we got some graphics, we got some stats for this game. You're playing the Cardinals.
Yeah,
and Coach says Legette's down the bus. He all in the video with Glorilla. He made it. All right.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
Made it. He's an all pro.
True.
Okay. We ain't mad at that.
I'm gonna be a little mad if you don't start catching the ball. All
right, what we got here? What we got for
So this is what we kind of talked about with Teteroa. He finished his debut with 5 catches for 68 yards. Could have been more, but he accounted for 47.5% of the Panthers' team air yards in week 1. So as a rookie, almost half of their air yards he accounted for. Says no Panthers receiver finished the season with more than 30% share of the team's total air yards in 2023 or 2024. So right off the bat, you're looking at we're hoping you're looking at a different skill level with Teteroa than what they've had over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Now, that's a little bit encouraging, right? You got Bryce, who we think is the guy, and you've got now a young number 1 wide receiver to pair with him. There were some very concerning insights as well into the upcoming game. You talk about Josh Sweat, who just came over from the Philadelphia Eagles. He finished last week against the Saints with 4 pressures, including 3 quick pressures, which is under 2.5 seconds, which is kind of like the average for quarterbacks to get rid of the ball. Sweat finished 2024 regular season with 41 pressures for the Eagles, while only 1 Cardinals defender generated more than 30, which was Zaven Collins last year. So Josh Sweat is he's getting after the quarterback lately.
It's pretty good.
And listen, that's great for him. Not great for a Panthers O-line that started off kind of shaky in week 1. Ekwonu looks like he's going to play, but he's still limited in practice right now. So hopefully he's able to get out there and they can kind of get right. But it wasn't a great start, and you don't want somebody coming in who's starting off kind of hot to be able to continue to derail the starts of the season for you. The other one, and I'm not real concerned about Josh Sweat, but this one has me upset. Trey McBride caught 6 passes for 61 yards against the Saints. Of his 61 yards, 52 came against zone. McBride finished the 2024 season with 866 yards, and a total of 41.5 receiving EPA against zone coverage, both of which were the second most in the NFL among tight ends. Panthers defense allowed 8.9 yards per attempt to tight ends in zone coverage last season, the 3rd most in the league. And if you watched last week against Jacksonville, tight ends were able to do whatever they wanted as well. They're extremely soft over the middle. They don't have anybody who can really cover the tight end position for them. And last week, I don't want to say the Jaguars tight ends suck. They don't suck or anything, but they're not great tight ends. Trey McBride is one of the better tight ends in the league. Yeah. He is, I think, likely going to be able to do whatever he wants against Carolina. So, and then you have to deal with, Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously a great talent. You would hope that J.C. Horn can hold him in check all day. you know, and I just really want to see these young edge rushers get a chance to go after Kyler Murray. I don't want to see them kind of just stick with the old guys and, you know, whatever happens like they did in week 1. That was pretty concerning for the defense. Those guys, you drafted them for a reason. You drafted them high for a reason. They need to get on the field and they need to play.
Yeah. Melanated One says, really want Bryce Young to have a good NFL season?
Us too. He will.
Oh. All right. So what are you thinking for this game? Victory or start of a losing streak?
It can't be a losing streak. All right, and I'll tell you why. Because you look at the start of their schedule, and it's relatively soft, right? I looked at it and I thought, hey, man, you know, there's a chance they go 4-0. Already stopped that. They already hit me with the cold water on that one. You can't start 0-2 to the Jaguars and Cardinals. If you start 0, you know, but I always say this about the Panthers, right? When the season starts, they let you know very early if they are going to be for real or if you can tune out. So if they go out there and they play again against the Cardinals like they did against the Jaguars, we'll know we can kind of tune out. I think that they are more targeting next year anyway. I just thought that they had the players to make a run this season. And for what it's worth, the you know, Canales and the players all seem genuinely
like bought in,
positive. Like they know they can play better than they played against Jacksonville. It's not like, oh man, here we go again. You know, we're just not very good. They all are saying, hey, you know, it was a bad game, you know, but we know for a fact we're better than this. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think I'm gonna pick them this week. Like that Cardinals win didn't inspire me against the Saints. Right?
It didn't. But
I thought they were going to do a lot better. Like I expected Kyler Murray. It's early. I mean, look, these games, like we said, these teams really do treat these first weeks as preseason. I expect Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. to be a very dangerous combo.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They just didn't look. You know, I mean, you kind of saw it a little bit in the first game. I watched a little bit of it, but are they really going to have it together by week 2? I ain't betting on it.
I think that I'm picking Carolina, and I think that we're going to see a big week from Bryce and Tedderoa. I think they're gonna connect multiple times. I think that Tedderoa is going to have a big game. I think he is going to score his first NFL touchdown. But the main thing, like I said, I want to see them really, really focus on controlling the game with their running attack, with Chuba, with Rico, and Etienne wherever he fits in. But you have 2,000-yard rushers in your backfield. You need to use them.
Yep. All right. Want to move on to Baltimore?
Boy, do I.
All right. Before we do that, all right, look, we got about 55 people in here. Hit that like button. If you're new in here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Donations. You can hit the super chat. You can hit up the pin link that you see in the chat box, or you can hit up our Cash App, $ LBHTShow. All ways to get your comment read. You even depending on how you donate, you get Microphone Man dancing on your screen for you. Okay. Also, patreon.com/LBHTShow or the membership if you want access to the overtime show, which happens right after this show. And we're going to be talking about sports betting. Okay. And just how problematic it's been so far, man. And I don't know if it's a good thing or not. I know people love betting, but you heard about a lot of players getting in trouble over this, and now it's trickled down into college. So we're going to discuss that on the overtime show, plus some other things. Okay, whatever else you want to talk about. Patreon.com/LBHT shows how you do it. Danny says $1 million plus donations, and Brodny will dance on camera. Facts.
It wouldn't even have to be $1 million.
Yeah, you could do it for much less. All right, 100,000. 100,000. We'll make it rain in here. All right. Cardinal secondary is young as hell. Plus JC about to lock McBride up. If Evero is smart and makes Marvin Harrison Jr. try to beat Mike Jack. JC is not going to be playing on McBride.
Yeah, listen, I in terms of trying to make Marvin beat Mike Jack, I think he would say challenge accepted, and then he would
Yeah, I think so.
go out there and probably just beat. And again, not to say that Jackson's a bad player, but that's not a matchup I would want all game. Although Mike Jack did almost have an interception on the very first play of the game, but Brian Thomas Jr. grabbed the entire left side of his body and dragged him down. So he was not able to catch the ball, but we'll see.
All right, let's go on to the big disaster. All right, we ranted about this for a good hour and a half on Sunday/Monday morning. All right, we talked about it on the Ravens Roundup yesterday on Coach's channel, Sip the Tally Films. Look, man, it's still, even though me and B have been preaching this the whole time, man, it's still frustrating to see this happen because, Lamar Jackson somehow every year gets better and better, right? While everybody is expected to struggle in this new format of the regular season where week 1 is treated kind of the preseason, he played a flawless game. And listen, Josh Allen played a great game too.
Yeah.
It wasn't flawless. There's a couple of interceptions that got dropped, but he played an excellent game and brought his team back. But man, there is nothing that you can look at in what Lamar did on Sunday and be like, yeah, that's where he messed up.
Right.
Flawless game. And honestly, for all intents and purposes, same thing with Derrick Henry. I don't count the fumble at all. I don't count it. People keep saying the fumble hurt, really hurt them. Technically, yes. Yeah, if you hold, I mean, it hurt. I don't think that lost them the game because we clearly weren't going to get the first down on that drive.
Well, no, right? it didn't lose them the game because one, the offense put up 40 points. The defense allowed 41 points. You can't. The offense can't lose you with a game in a game where they score 40 points. And like you said, people who will point to that fumble, the defense gave Buffalo back 2 possessions, dropping interceptions. So what do you think happens if Awuzie and the guy that you drafted specifically to take the ball away from them? Maybe they're not. Maybe they don't have enough time to get to 41.
Well, it's a backbreaker at that point. They're not even trying. Right? If we get those turnovers, which is what we're asking for from this defense, if we get those turnovers and stretch the lead out a little bit more, or even if we don't stretch it out, we just get them to turn the ball over a couple of drives, that pretty much breaks their will. There wasn't that much time left in the game, right? But we did fumble the ball. And because the defense put up 0 resistance, like as soon as he fumbled the ball, the next play they're down at the 1 yard line. What kind of defense is that?
Right.
Like that's no defense at all. You might as well not even take the field if that's going to happen. You did absolutely nothing out there, and it felt like that from the opening drive. That defense is playing. Why are you having guys of this talent play so far off the ball?
Because
Coach showed a play yesterday where 11 guys dropped back, B. 11 guys.
I saw that when I was rewatching the game. Yeah, that was nice. That was special.
You don't have any faith in your secondary that you spent all this money on to just man up and play these guys. There is nobody on this team that you should be fearing. There's nobody on this team. And Keon Coleman looks like he'll be a fine player, but he doesn't command that kind of respect when you have a secondary like ours. And we got a super chat from Press Star 410. Appreciate you. Says, fire Har Bum immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I be saying also says fire John Harbaugh. Danity says defense was so horrific. The fumble meant nothing. Absolutely. It meant nothing. If he first of all, he got hit in the backfield.
Right.
So even if he held onto the ball, we run another play or two, and then we're punting the ball. And what's going to happen? Only that would have happened was it would have taken them maybe another 30 seconds to score instead of the minute it took them. It might
Yeah,
have been a minute
you
and a half.
remember they had about 30 seconds left. They were just chilling, waiting to kick that field goal to win.
No,
So,
I'm talking about no. So,
but I mean,
score,
like I'm just saying, like you push the clock out. If the Ravens keep the ball on that drive, they run a couple more plays. It runs a little more time off. But like time was barely an issue for them at the end of the game anyway.
right?
So like you said, they weren't trying to get a first. So what would have changed?
Right, and if they needed more than a field goal, they would just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right. She says, Jose, you can't make this up.
Oh, Justice.
I see it, Justice. We're not gonna put it up here because people accuse us of bullying, but you're right. well, okay, but no, in all seriousness, you have your hardball defenders, you have your EDC defenders, right? You got you got these people right here. Okay, you got the defenders out there. All right, those people that go hard and say, hey, we gotta protect this front office at all costs. Even they, because of how great that offense played, because of how great Lamar played, you can't point the finger anywhere else.
No,
you can't. Like, there is nothing that Lamar did that you can be like, yeah, well he did this, yeah, but this. And by the time Derrick Henry fumbled the ball, like we've been saying, there's already 40 points put up. It should have been impossible for this team to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't even been Derrick Henry out there to fumble the ball. They should have already been resting.
Yeah.
So absolutely poor job coaching. And Lamar and Derrick Henry covered up a lot of flaws that we said would show itself on the O-line, particularly the guard play. The only thing we can do is hope that they play better. But it's not looking good. I just find it funny that how many people were complaining about Falele out the gate. But you guys don't want to draft the guard in the first round. We say, hey, no, don't get the shiny toy in the safety. You got to go O-line. You don't want to do that. You say, hey, there's nobody worth picking there. Okay, so stick with Falele then. You happy with that?
But there was. And his name was Josh Simmons, and now he's the starting left tackle in Kansas City. And the stuff with Falele, you don't want to criticize Andrew Voorhees either, because I'm sure that we've all seen the play where Ed Oliver blew up Lamar. That was Voorhees not blocking either one of those guys.
Nobody. Blocking nobody.
He danced between them and turned around and said, "Oh my God, what happened to you, Lamar?" Right?
You okay over there?
That's crazy. Like, I got out of his way. You didn't? You didn't see him?
Yeah, Keaton Mitchell being a healthy scratch. I don't know what that's about, man. I don't know.
It's about them not knowing how to utilize their personnel. Again, so Zay Flowers had a great game. Best game of his career. Why couldn't you get anybody else involved? Rashad Bateman had, I know this because Suge was just unbelievably upset, but Rashad Bateman had 12 yards, right? He needed to have 15. DeAndre Hopkins had the one catch, right? Mark Andrews had one catch for 5 yards. Rasheen Ali, I don't think he had a carry. Justice Hill, I mean, he got a few touches, but like they lean so heavily on their stars, they don't know how to do anything else.
You're in a situation where your defense isn't doing anything out there. It's 3rd and 3, and you're like, let's run this end around sweep or whatever they try to run with Zay Flowers, right? Let's run the ball before that, even though they're stacking the box and our O-line can't guard anything. But you don't want to put it in the air. You don't want to drop a play for Hopkins, who can catch the ball even when his hand is being held. He'll just catch it with his other 5 fingers and bring it in, right? You don't want to throw it to Mark Andrews, who was waiting for this game to redeem himself. You don't want to trust those guys. Let's just do an end around. You don't even want to trust Derrick Henry to run it up the middle. Let's try to get cute. Give it to Zay Flowers so he can slide,
Yeah.
That's your coach, ladies and gentlemen. And we got a $10 donation super chat from Dapper Dons. Appreciate you, Dapper Don. Says, Jose, did you see falafel? I'm sorry. Did you see falafel? Sorry. I mean, Falele got manhandled out there. Imagine the Ravens accolading all that. Accolading all that money and from the D to the O from our QB. The Ravens don't deserve the talent like LJ. They don't. And this is why we say hashtag defund the defense. I was arguing with somebody in Sutton's chat the other day. I think it was Chris. Shout out to Chris. She watches our stuff sometimes too. But she didn't like the hashtag defund the defense. She wasn't around the time when we rolled that out. But essentially, defund the defense means stop putting all your resources into the defense. When you hear defund doesn't mean take all the money out of something, right? It means stop the cash flow, the excessive cash flow to something, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we mean when we say defund the defense. You have more than enough talent now. You don't need to spend a first-round pick on another safety. You don't need to spend what little money that you have left in your cap to go and get another cornerback. You just drafted a cornerback, right? And you already have Marlon Humphrey, who played great last year. You brought in a Awuzie. You don't need to go and get Jair Alexander, right? I'm not mad that he's here, but if I have to look at Voorhees and Falele, I am mad, right? Like, you can't just keep saying, oh, well, that's a good pickup and we'll be fine with the O-line. There are no answers at O-line. And it was so bad that you guys didn't even want Ryan Stanley to come back. And when we ask what happens if Ryan Stanley's not on this team, what's the answer? Well, we'll figure it out. Maybe we put Rosengard into left tackle and then we just draft the right tackle. We'll just figure it out. You think this organization is going to figure out that O-line? No.
It's not their forte. It's not really what they do.
Go man. Well, Go Man says defense wins championships.
No,
well, if that's the case, we ain't winning.
Well, I was saying you had a great defense under Mike McDonald, right? Did you win a championship?
No, listen.
You had great defenses for years with Ray Lewis.
If you feel that way, we ain't winning. We're the worst defense in the league right now. Right now. After 1 week, we are the worst defense in the league. Does it get better with Cleveland? I hope so. All right. Speaking of Cleveland, do we have any next gen stats or anything for this game? Yes, we do. Here we go. All right. Derrick Henry, in his 2025 debut, Derrick Henry forced 4 missed tackles, gained 72 yards after forcing missed tackles, and averaged 5.8 yards after contact per carry. Last season, he totaled 106 forced missed tackles, second most in the NFL, 754 yards after missed tackles, which was the most in the NFL, and 4.2 yards after contact per carry, second most in the NFL, minimum of 150 carries. His matchups in 2024, the Browns allowed opposing ball carriers to force the second most missed tackles in the NFL. At 192 and generated a league high of 1,199 yards after forcing missed tackles. Okay. Sounds like a pretty good matchup. Derrick Henry, listen, he's one of the best running backs in the league still. And even good teams are going to have a hard time stopping him. And teams like the Browns, there's just not much they can do to stop him, right? There's no real justice they can make.
We'll see. Like, that's a D line with Myles Garrett, Mason Graham. I forget the guy.
I forgot the draft of Mason Graham.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing. There it is on the other side. Like, they're a strong defense. They held a pretty explosive offense to 17 points.
That's true.
Right? That's Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Their running back's not bad over there either. Chase Brown. So they did a great job in week 1. I have to believe you can pick off Joe Flacco a couple times. Joe Flacco hasn't cared about ball security since 2017. Right? You had to get a couple picks off of Joe and put this game away pretty early. But it's not going to be easy. Cleveland is a very, very tough team.
Well-coached team.
They may have their new running back this week, Quinshon Judkins. Maybe. We'll see. He's not practicing yet. He was meeting with the league office today to see how, if he's going to be suspended and how long and all that. But he may be playing this week. So again, it's going to be a fight against the Browns.
Yeah, and it's a division game.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, that doesn't mean Derrick Henry can't run for 200 yards. It will still struggle.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what's been happening. This isn't about Derrick Henry. This is about what the defense is going to do out there. Do we have any other graphics before we go into?
Yes. Mark Andrews.
There he is. I was wondering what happened to him. He's right there.
Yeah, he's managing his one catch for 5 yards. But to be fair, he only had the one target, so 100% catch rate. Isaiah Likely obviously sidelined due to a foot injury. Andrews was expected to see increased opportunities as the clear top tight end, making his limited involvement particularly concerning for fantasy managers more than anything. The veteran tight end played 38 of 50 offensive snaps, but earned just one target across 14 routes in a run-heavy game script. Mark is still he's a talented player. I don't think he's anywhere near the Mark Andrews we saw when he went for 1,300 yards. But he's still a quality starting tight end. If they've got to throw the ball more, he'll be more involved and he'll be fine because it is the regular season.
Yeah.
But they should be hoping to get Isaiah Likely back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you also don't want to rush it though, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want to rush him back. It's a long season. I want him to be 100% healthy, and especially with this team that likes to rush players back and then re-injure them.
Yeah. Tell you what, you start out 0-2, it's going to get shorter. All right, you gotta start winning some games.
Hopefully it'll be shorter for Harbaugh too.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need the bottom to fall out for Harbaugh to get up out of here.
And I think that is exactly what they need. I think they need a 6-7 win season with Lamar healthy for the owner to do anything.
Yeah, I hate it because the way Lamar played in that first game, I feel like another MVP season on the way. It just feels like he is in such a zone right now, and he could be in this zone for years.
Yeah,
like the game has slowed down for him so much. Even with the terrible O-line, he knows how to get rid of the ball, before that defense gets there, and he knows how to create space and time for him to find the open person. It's just really tough for the defenses. That's why the better investment, no matter what anybody tells you, would have been on the O-line. If you have a stout O-line, if you put as much resources and time and effort to fixing that O-line and making them great, not just good, great, and he has time to stand there in the pocket, we could have put up 50 points.
Mm-hmm.
We could have scored on every single drive if he had time in the pocket. And we almost saw it be. Like we were going to have a different discussion had the Ravens won that game. We were going to say you kind of get a glimpse of what it looks like when you have talent on the offense, enough talent to mitigate the bad coaching, because there's some bad coaching going on that side of the ball, right? Yeah. But because Lamar is great, because Derrick Henry is great, because Hopkins can still show you flashes of greatness, right? They still put up 40 points regardless.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers is great too.
If you don't have John Harbaugh holding you back, they have enough talent on the offense. Obviously, they need to improve that O-line. But when you talk about Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Likely, Derrick Henry, Justice, Sheen, and Keaton, hopefully someday, that's enough talent to win when you have Lamar Jackson at quarterback and the alleged best defense in the league, right? But They don't have the best defense in the league. The O-line played worse than even we thought they would, despite them putting up 40 points. And they were not able to get all of those players involved. They leaned really heavily on just Derek and Zay. So you need to see a big improvement moving forward on both sides of the ball, honestly, which sounds ridiculous when you scored 40 points, but they do need to play better than they did in week 1 on that side of the ball.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Is that the last graphic? Want to make sure. Oh, we got another one. Let's see. Derrick Henry, the Ravens faced the stacked box at the highest rate, 19.7 in the NFL last season. Against stacked boxes in 2024, Derrick Henry recorded 677 rushing yards. Jeez. More than 300 yards more than any other running back. Saquon Barkley at 319 yards, while averaging 6.3 yards per carry. I just want to say real quick, this is exactly what Coach is talking about when he said what Derrick Henry did is more impressive than Saquon Barkley, right? Like, you're stacking the box and he's still getting these yards. Most of my running backs, minimum 25 carries. Matchup, the 2024 Browns stacked the box at the highest rate in the league. 26.6, but allowed 668 yards rushing, the most. And 3.4 yards per carry, 11th most to opposing rushers when doing so. In the 2024 Week 18 matchup, against the Ravens, the Browns stacked the box 37.9% of the time and allowed 97 yards and 2 touchdowns on 17 such carries.
I'm going to say it's not more impressive than what Saquon did. And I'm going to tell you why. Because now I know that Saquon has Jalen Hurts, but Derrick Henry
in the league.
But Derrick Henry has Lamar Jackson, the best runner in the league at quarterback, who you have to account for on every single play, who ran for 900 yards last year.
Yeah, but the Eagles have the best O-line.
They do have the best O-line. But as I said, it takes what does having a stacked box mean when you have to devote resources to stopping Lamar Jackson on every play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, the Lamar Jackson bump is real.
Yeah.
All right. It is real.
That's why you had people in here, at one point telling us that Gus Edwards was just as good as Saquon Barkley. And
That's
Gus
right.
Edwards is no longer in the NFL because he's not standing next to Lamar or behind Lamar Jackson anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a compelling argument because Saquon, even though Hurts isn't Lamar, he has a great O-line. They have a lot of good talent on that team. You can't just focus in on him. It makes it really tough to just defend him. He's a great player. These are 2 great running backs.
Yeah.
I miss Gus the Bus. Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I'm good. He's still with us. Okay, he's just not on the team. Right. Gus still catching strays. He's not catching strays.
Oh man,
he served his purpose. He should have a ring.
Very well while he was with Baltimore.
Yeah, he should have had a ring. He played well enough to help this team win the Super Bowl. I hate that he didn't get a ring. We should be running a version of Greg Roman's strategy in 2019 at the end of games. We're running it. Come stop it. Well, we tried that and they stopped it. We tried that. We literally tried that Sunday night and they stopped it because we don't that. So
in 2019, you had the best O-line in the league.
Right. That's what I was to say. In 2019, we still have Marshall Yanda. We could. I would agree with you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Run the ball and see if you can stop it. You can't. But now, you said Marshall Yanda.
But that's what we talked about, right? Like either Derrick Henry's getting hit in the backfield and going down, or he's going untouched for 70 yards. Like those are the 2 states of Derrick Henry right now, for the most part.
All right. Is that the last graphic? I didn't count these graphics. I didn't see. Okay. All right. Okay. We're good. All right. So you have the stats that you need to make a educated decision on this game, educated prediction on this game. Who do you have, B?
I've got Baltimore, and I know I said that it's going to be tough, and it should be tough, but they had better beat Cleveland by double digits.
They better. Now, had we won the game last week and won handily like we should have, I'd probably be leaning towards Cleveland.
You'd be on upset alert.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But when you lose the way you lose, and this is something that John Harbaugh excels at. He excels at is making sure his team performs when his back's against the wall. Okay, you call it self-preservation. Engraven loved that term. Okay, he is the best at self-preservation in the league. The heat is on him when you have national media talking about the choked out job that you did as a coach, right? More so than how bad the defense played, the coaching job that you did. He knows eyes are on him. He feels his seat getting a little bit warmer. He said, "Hey, who turned on this car seat heater? All right, let me turn that off." He is going to make sure that they win by at least 2 touchdowns. So I am picking the Ravens to win comfortably. You don't have to be on pins and needles this game. You can sit back and relax and watch the game. The defense is going to play a lot better. But I'm telling y'all right now, like Keeping It Real said, do not fall for it. Okay, I don't care if they pitch a shutout in this game. This doesn't mean anything to me in terms of how I feel about this defense. Until they do it, they have to run the table here on out and really lock teams down for me to change my mind. And they got to do it in the playoffs. But they can't erase that bad taste out of my mouth in this game.
Yeah, there's for me, nothing they do in the regular season is going to matter at all. Like they have to do it in the playoffs. We've seen them do it in the regular season before. We've seen this movie where you start slow, you lose to the Raiders, and then you go out and you win the next 9 in incredibly impressive fashion. And everybody's like, man, the Ravens are the best in the league. Oh, what happened in that first playoff game? And you go home. That's been the story for years now. So they could allow 0 points the rest of the season. And I'd be like, and they see you doing it in the playoffs.
Well, no, I feel better. I because even our 2000s defense gave up some points in certain games, right? So you can have a bad game, that's fine, but we know there's more of that to come. Like we feel that way, right? We feel like they're not going to really make the adjustments, but that's why you play the games. But you can't get it all back in this week. I don't care how good they look. I'm gonna call you guys frauds until you really until you show consistency throughout the whole year.
The real question is, let's say for the next 5-6 weeks, they hold the opposing team under 10 points. I don't know who all they're playing, but whoever it is.
Kansas City is one of the teams that we play.
Cool. Hold all of them under 10 points. Mm-hmm. And then Xavier Worthy comes back and they trade for Tyreek Hill. How are you feeling?
Nervous as hell.
Yeah.
But what if
Ricci is back as well?
so we play the Lions, we play the Rams, like we play some good teams on our schedule. Mm-hmm. What if they lock down those teams as well?
I'll say this. Look, the Lions didn't look very good in their first game. The Rams got the win, but they weren't particularly impressive offensively.
Nobody looked great except the Bills.
That's not true. Jacksonville looked pretty damn good from where I was sitting. But no. It's early in the season. Teams are sloppy and all that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I just don't. They come out and they beat Detroit. They beat the Rams. They beat Kansas City. I'll say the same thing. Like we've seen you do it before. Yeah. Kansas City particularly is not going to mean much at all to me right now because Rashee Rice is suspended. Xavier Worthy is hurt. They're saying he's day to day, but we'll see. He dislocated his shoulder. He's 110 pounds. Like I don't know that you're coming back next week or the week after, right? But even if he does, that's a very depleted squad in Kansas City. Throwing it to Marquise Brown every play did not work. So they'll have to beat some of these teams at full strength and beat them badly. I don't expect the Lions to play as bad as they did against Green Bay every week. They're adjusting to having 2 new coordinators over there. The Rams, I think the Rams are going to be up and down. I think that's the retirement home over there, and they're going to do just enough to sneak their way into the playoffs, but they're not going to be an impressive regular season team all the way through. I don't think. and I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what week they're playing Kansas City, but I know that Rashee Rice isn't going to be back, and Xavier Worthy's still going to be recovering, most likely. So it's not those games in particular aren't going to mean a whole lot to me right now.
Yeah. Kwame says a win is a win, my guy. Why don't we fast forward into the playoffs then? Because we can't. We gotta go week to week.
I don't know.
But,
do you have a time control remote? Like we can't.
And a win isn't a win, right? Like how you win matters, especially for this team. We're trying to win the Super Bowl, right?
Right. Like let's say you had hung on and beat Buffalo. Was that win equal to the win Buffalo got over you in the playoffs? A win is not a win. Some of them are more important than others.
And look, regular season playoff is different, but you gotta build up to that. And this defense has to show that they're a defense to be feared, because that matters too. Like if you're showing that you're a dominant defense and you can't throw on this team, that carries over into the playoffs, and that changes how teams approach you, right? How they strategize against you. If they know they can light up the sky, they're going to keep doing that against you in the playoffs. I say that to say we want to beat the Chiefs. Oh yeah, we want to beat everybody. I don't want to lose any of these games.
Nobody said go out there and lose, bro.
No, what B is saying, what I'm saying is how the defense performs. This isn't about the overall team. Like the offense looks great, right? We're happy to see them play every week. The defense is a letdown to this point. And seeing how bad they were last year, even though they started to turn things around down the stretch, to see them start out this way against it, this is a game that we want to have, right? This could be for home field advantage, but the defense can't have games like that. We invested too much into that side of the ball. That even in week one, they cannot play like that.
Yeah, and more to the point, like we say, a win is a win. Would you feel the same way if Baltimore had held Buffalo to 17 and beat them 40-17 as you would if they just missed the last kick and you won 40-38? No. Would you feel the same about the Ravens after watching that game? Of course not, because in one version they're dominating one of the better teams in the league. They look like the clear front runners in the NFL at that point. In the other version, you choke the game away and their kicker missed the game-winning field goal. You don't feel nearly as good. Yeah.
So with that being said, we expect a comfortable win against the Browns, and I'll take it for what it's worth. I'll enjoy the win because we gotta enjoy these things week to week. But like I said, the defense really has to get it together. Let the bad taste in my mouth, and it'll be some weeks before they wash that away. But like I said, I'll enjoy it this week. Okay. All right. Speaking of that one fan that assaulted DeAndre Hopkins at that touchdown celebration, and Lamar Jackson defended his teammate against, has been banned. All right. Much to the shock of Mike Tirico and the rest of those idiots on the broadcast that are trying to say, oh, both sides were wrong. No, the only one side was wrong.
Yeah. Kwame said he was referring to a comment about Rashee Rice being suspended. They need that win for their conference. Okay. What we were talking about was, is that going to change our opinion of the Baltimore Ravens? And I'm saying no, because Rashee Rice is not going to be playing. Xavier Worthy's likely to still be recovering. So it's not going to change my opinion of the Ravens right now, regardless of how that game goes. And also, I don't think that they would get any confidence from beating a hobbled Kansas City team.
We'll take the win.
They would at all.
Yeah, make no mistake. We'll take the win, right? You play who's in front of you. But when we get to the playoffs and those guys are back, right? That's what we're saying. Like, do we feel as confident, especially, depending on how we win? Do we feel as confident when those guys are back? Or like B said, God forbid they make a trade and bring Tyreek Hill back. Do we feel as confident beating them? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're looking at. Like, yes, we want to get these wins and we can feel good about the wins week to week, but we've been here so many times before, right? And we'll hype ourselves up going into the playoffs, including me. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to do that. I'm 100% going to be that guy. Like, man, I know we said, defense Doesn't look great. I know I said this. The O-line's a concern, but man, look, we won 13 games. Lamar's the MVP. We're gonna do it this year. I'm going to say that. But if we take the field with Kansas City, I'm gonna feel a little nervous. If we take the field against Buffalo, I'm gonna be a little nervous. All right. Now, if it's the Steelers, I'm gonna feel all right.
That 4-touchdown game may move you.
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
Not even.
He's got to ice his shoulder now. He might not even be able to play next week.
And you can see it, like he's that type of petty, right? Like Steve Smith years ago when he went to Baltimore, and Carolina was early in their schedule, and he went out and he had a vintage Steve Smith game, and my man had to put it in cruise control the rest of the season. Because and he had a fine season, but like he wasn't playing like that every week.
No.
I wanted to show everybody in the Jets organization, man. Don't we give a damn about the Jets organization? Like, what do you think you proved? Crackhead. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Move on. What we got next? Court of public opinion?
Sure.
All right, let's do court of public opinion and then submit questions and we can get up out of here. We're already over an hour. If you want to hang out with us some more after this show, we do the overtime show. You can find that on our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow. Just $5. Okay. I know you got $5 out there. Don't spend the money on any DoorDash. All right. or anything or delivery whatsoever, because you got to pay this $2 or $3 fee on top of the delivery fee, you got process fee, and then you got a tip. All right, that's $15 you're gonna spend right there. Just go pick up your food, and then you can get a $5 tier or $10 tier on Patreon. Okay, that's how you do that.
Okay, so I just want to address Felipe really quickly. He's asking if Josh Allen's going to win MVP again. It's one game. I don't know. There's 16 more games to go, man.
Well, if you watched our show last week and we previewed who was going to win MVP, you would know that Josh Allen is not going to.
Don't do that. My pick for MVP is out as well. After one game, he did not look good in week one. So maybe he can turn around. Maybe he can turn around. Like I said, 16 more games to go, but don't watch that yet. Wait a few weeks. Wait until the Lions are like 4-1, and then go back and watch that video. All right.
Oh, man. All right, what we got for court of public opinion?
Well, I gotta ask you, those are as a baseball lover, one baseball lover to another.
Yeah, just
how valuable is it to you if somebody who, not really a big star, but some guy who's out there playing baseball, swings that bat and makes contact with a little ball that's going really fast towards him, and it just goes flying hundreds of feet into the stands, and then, oh my God, maybe you could pick it up and take it home and have a little piece of history. How important is that to you? On the scale of 1, I don't really care, 10, I'm going to kill you for that ball.
Listen, I see that ball fly in the air. As long as it's not coming my way, I'm not flinching for it. Like, well, and just for reference, because obviously I don't know who this guy is. Like, how good of a player is he? Like, is he, like, who would you compare him to? Is he like Derrick Henry, or is he like?
You're asking the wrong person, but I'm gathering from the comments in our show, or in the show the other day on us. Well, yesterday on Steel Conspiracy, that he is not Derrick Henry. He's not a star. All right. The quote was, "No one cares about this person's name." Whose name I forgot? Harrison something.
That's a little hurtful. Okay, so yes, I wouldn't care.
Okay,
but apparently somebody did care.
Yeah, there's a couple ones in the chat. I agree with y'all, but this
Harrison Bader.
Harrison Bader. Thank you. This elderly lady did not agree. A home run ball or a home run was hit into her section. Another guy came from another section, picked up the ball, took it back, gave it to his kid, and we'll go ahead and roll the video here, and you can see that she was upset. The video gets me every time when she grabs his arm and he's like, "Who's assaulting me?"
He's like, "Oh,"
and then immediately dropped his hands. But yeah, so what you saw in that video was, just a classic mistake where Karen, because we don't know her real name, Karen pointed at the ball instead of reaching for it and grabbing it. While she was pointing, old boy went in there, grabbed it, and got the hell out of Dodge. All right. He gave it to his kid, and he felt like the best father in the world for, that 3 or 4 seconds before he was assaulted by Karen. And then it just didn't seem that important. He just gave her the ball.
When I first saw this, I thought he had snatched it out of her hands. And that would have been a little different, right? Mm-hmm. But then I saw it again. I was like, no, she never had the ball, right? And you don't, just because it was close to you doesn't give you rights to the ball.
No.
You reached, you moved too slow. He got it. It is what it is. And maybe you feel like, man, he shouldn't have come all the way from his section to get it. But when you see him give it to his son, all right, man, let it go. Right. And
then enraged her further. He's like, he didn't even get it.
And I like, I like how he explained everything to her in a calm voice, right? Because she yelling in his face. He's like, yeah, well, it fell on the ground. I went and got it, and now my son, and I gave it to my son. It's for him, right? Like he's and she's just like, no, you took it from me. He's like, you want the ball? Here you go, okay? Because I'm trying to teach my son to be a decent human being more than material things. So I'm not going to act up in front of my son. Now me, had I gotten the ball, even if it was from this guy who I don't know who he is, and I put it in Jacob's glove, and some lady comes near me, she's getting mushed. Not a hard mush.
There's something here in the chat that's making me change my entire opinion. Be more Ravens Gunny says she called dibs when the ball was in the pitcher's glove. Well, you got to respect dibs. I don't know what kind of monsters live amongst us who don't respect dibs. But the question is, did she yell loud enough for the other section to hear? Now, granted, there didn't seem to be a lot of souls between her and him in sound travels, but I don't know. Like I said, you don't point at the ball if you want the ball. You dive and you get the ball if you want the ball. She did not.
I'd be saying it's absolutely right here. The shoe away, topped off the video. He's like, okay, no, get out of here.
And we should mention that the Marlins did go and give the kid a nice little pack of merch, and I guess I don't know if they were signed baseballs or what, but a couple balls and some Marlins merch, and then Harrison Bader met with the kid after the game and gave him a signed bat to take home. So that's very nice of both the Marlins and Bader to make sure the kid was taken care of. But you know what? His father should have made sure he was taken care of. His father is guilty. His father, as soon as she grabbed his arm, he should have stiff-armed the hell out of that lady. And be like, yo, get out of my face. I got the ball. I gave it to my son. Go sit down.
Yeah, like, no, all seriousness. I don't like strangers touching me, right? Like,
if you just tap him on the shoulder, okay, whatever. I'm trying to get your attention. No, she grabbed him and tried to turn him around.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, if it's a little tap or whatever, but like to grab me, like you want to confront me. Listen, you playing a dangerous game. You don't do that to strangers, right? And I'm giving it to my son. There's nothing you can say to me that's gonna make me come up off that ball.
He hugged that kid, and you could see the look on his face that made the dad's day.
Right. He took it out of his glove. He gave it to her. Now, listen. It's a teachable moment, that he can show his son, like, hey, she's being childish, and we're gonna be the grown-ups here, even though you're a kid. We're gonna show decency here in this moment. That's a valuable lesson that you can teach your son. Mm-hmm. But also, I'm telling my son, turn your head.
Yeah, that is
what about turn your head while and cover your ears while I curse this lady out. Don't ever come near me while with my earmuffs.
But no, it's a teachable moment in that way, but it's also a teachable moment in standing up for yourself.
Absolutely,
because she's a bully, and you don't let bullies win. You don't let bullies come and grab you by the arm, and scream in your face, and then get what they want.
Right.
So to answer the question, they're both guilty. Both the adults in this scenario are guilty. The father gets a fine, and we're gonna send him to some classes, and Karen goes to jail.
Self-defense courses.
Yeah, Karen goes to jail. My man was shook when when that hand touched him. I've never seen somebody put up their dukes out like that in such fear. But Karen's going to jail.
No, I wouldn't have given her stone cold stunner. I wouldn't have assaulted her. It'd have been a light mush, right? And it's not assault. Okay, I'm pushing her out of my space. First, she grabbed me.
Yeah,
don't do that. But it's definitely man. You need to back up. Okay, you need to back up. Who's that old man you with? Is that your husband? He don't want to catch these hands. All right.
that's also a teachable moment right there too. Don't go and start fights that your boyfriend or husband have to finish, right? Because he's not going to fight you, right?
And we've seen these videos.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen these videos. We've seen one of them. The wife started to fight, and her husband, who was trying not to get involved, got knocked out.
Yeah, because 90% of the time they don't want to fight. I'm wherever we are to have a good time, a long day of work, trying to relax. Why are you starting to fight? But now other guy wants to fight, right? And there are multiple video cameras recording the situation. You can't not fight.
Right, living legend. The father's initial reaction made him guilty.
Yeah.
DWZ said, I caught a t-shirt at a basketball game when I was 10. Grown man behind me thought he could grab it after I caught it. Me and my pops were ready to square up. I got the shirt. There you go. There you go. It ain't that serious, man. It's not that serious. It's a cool thing if you can get it. It's not a big deal. You didn't pay for that ball or whatever flies into the stands. You weren't expecting it when you got there.
Yeah.
So what if somebody else gets it? So what? You know
what it reminds me of?
Dudes serving equal opportunity hands. Yeah.
It reminds me of that exhibition game with the Dodgers, where the Dodgers player was leaning over the railing trying to catch a foul ball, and somebody in the stands, had a little better hand-eye coordination.
Somebody was
Rodney Pete. Right, and you know what? That Dodgers dude, he ain't trying to fight Rodney Pete over that. He said, you know what? So you know what, man? You caught the ball. Good on you. I'm upset with myself.
He wanted to say something. He saw Rodney Pete. He's just like, nah. I got a bad feeling. Like he's smiling too calmly. Because Rodney Pete gave him that.
He was right in his face. Pete looked at him, he's like, looking for something. But take your L's. Don't take them out on other people.
Yeah.
And just for the younger people, take your L's in silence. Also, don't post it online.
Facts. Great advice. All right. Ayo Fon says he was guilty once he clutched his pearls in front of his son. Yeah.
Well, his son wouldn't have seen that if everybody wasn't posting videos online trying to go viral. His son was looking the opposite direction.
I know. All right, submitted questions, and we're gonna get up out of here.
All right, we have one submitted question, and it is a long one. I'm gonna try to summarize this here.
Who's it from?
This is from Marcus Frazier, and there are many lines. What's up, fellas? Have you noticed after the loss, the mainstream media and plenty of other podcasts are now crowning Allen as the best quarterback in the league and telling everybody that's why he's the real MVP and the voters were right. Not trying to make it a conspiracy or saying the NFL rigged, but seeing people's reaction after the game made me feel like the NFL set the game up to make Josh Allen look like the GOAT and the new face, and the NFL wasn't going to allow Lamar, a black guy, to blow out their MVP, a white guy, on the Bills' last opening night at their stadium. Also to keep the narrative that Lamar is a perennial big game loser, which drives revenue. If Lamar would have won, there wouldn't be any storyline this week for the games. It would just be Lamar won, but he can do it but can he do it in the playoffs, which doesn't drive revenue? Just my opinion. All right, I know that you put in there not trying to make it a conspiracy, but then you immediately made it a conspiracy, as is often the case when you say things like that. But no, I don't think so. Like again, you have to take these conspiracy theories all the way through. I don't think that Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey and Malachi Starks and all of them were in on the conspiracy to make Josh Allen look good. They just got beat, right? And listen, the NFL has been fine with having a black quarterback be the face of the league for many years, and that is Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is black, and he's been the face of the league. Yeah. And I think that the league would be fine with Jalen Hurts being the face of the league. You know, he's an extremely professional guy, very articulate guy. You know, that's what they want. They want the clean-cut, articulate people to be the face of the league. Yeah. You know, and it's not even just a black versus white thing. I don't think the league would want Joe Burrow to be the face of the league. He looks like a different person every time you see him. The dude is a freak. All right, not even in a bad way. Like, I find it entertaining, but you never know. You can show me 8 different pictures of 8 different people and tell me they're all Joe Burrow, and I will believe you. But yeah, I think the league would love Josh Allen to be the face of the league and to win, but they're not rigging the games for that to happen.
But you know, it's a different kind of image of a black man when you're talking about Mahomes and Hurts, right? They're black, no doubt about it. Yeah. But like you said, they want the clean cut image, speaking a certain way, you absolutely. Know. And Lamar Jackson is unapologetically black, right? Like, he's comfortable in his own skin. He's not going to, you know, change up how he speaks for anybody. He's just himself, right?
But I will say this: I don't think the league would have a problem with Lamar either, and I'll tell you why. Because one, he's absolutely electrifying player. One of the greatest to ever play the game, period, at any position. But you know, in terms of the way he speaks and presents himself and everything, he is also exceedingly professional and polite.
Absolutely,
like he's never you know, rude to the media. He's never causing any kind of issue. So I think the league would look past, you know, the way he talks and everything. And,
I don't think. Yeah.
But no, I think obviously the preference would be Josh Allen. He's the prototypical quarterback that they've been looking for forever.
Yeah, if Lamar won 3 Super Bowls right now, that, you know, like, he'd be the man, right? And they capitalize off of it. It is a Lamar Jackson market. We talked about this with the media. They're going to say whatever they can about Lamar Jackson, good or bad, to get clicks. That's all it is. Josh Allen doesn't get clicks. Joe Burrow is Billie Eilish.
Yes.
But no, Josh Allen doesn't get clicks, right? Like, they like him. They're going to he is going to be, you know, the nemesis of Lamar Jackson to pump up a story, right?
Yeah, he's boring. He's a great player. He's fantastic to watch, but outside of the actual game, he's boring. Like,
and by the way, you know, we do week one's overreactions. He had a great game and a great comeback. I don't have any problem people talking about him as MVP after this week, right? Like, we react in the moment. If the Ravens went out there and did what they're supposed to do on defense, they'd be saying that about Lamar, how perfect of a game he played, and how, you know, him and Derrick Henry look unstoppable. They've been saying the same thing or something similar. So I don't have any problem with the talk for Josh Allen after week 1. It's a long season. We'll see.
Yeah, he earned it.
Absolutely.
He 100% earned it. But yeah, like I said, there's 16 more games. So we'll see where we're at come January.
Yeah. All right. That answers the question. And we're right at an hour and a half. All right. If you want to join us for the Overtime Show, we can continue this discussion. We talk about whatever you want to talk about. We'll kick off the show talking about some NCAA gambling scandal. Okay. That's going to be a lot of fun. And anything else you want to talk about, we'll do that on the Overtime Show. You can get access at patreon.com/LBHTShow. I also need to post it. I'll post it in the comment section on YouTube for members. I'm going to do that right now. So just after the credits run, just go over to the community tab, refresh it if you need to, and you will see the link to the Overtime Show that will be in there. All right. So Patreon members, get ready. The Overtime Show is starting soon. Everybody else, have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace.